I know who I am. I am the image and the likeness of God. I came here with power. I came here with authority. I came here to have dominion. That's our affirmation. And as we state that affirmation and it begins to actualize in our life and become real in our life, we'll have to learn how to protect ourselves. Spiritual protection. Not just protect ourselves from anything, but we'll have to learn how to protect our abundance. Because as we transition, as we grow, as we start over with God and build that bridge from religion into spirituality, there will be a new level and a new currency of life and abundance that will begin to flow into our lives. Our minds will change, our emotions will change, our outer atmospheres will change, our inner atmospheres will change. There will be change. And so it reminds me of an ancient teaching, an ancient writing, an ancient book that I love to read. And in that book it says, and I'm paraphrasing, but it says something like this. It says that the blessings of the Creator make it rich and add no sorrow. Today I want to talk about protecting my abundance. Protecting my abundance. As we go throughout our lives and we are transitioning from religion to spirituality, we're going to have to protect our abundance. First of all, we'll have to recognize that we do have abundance, that we are abundant because we come from an infinite universe that is never lacking or without anything. And because we come from that infinite universe that is never lacking or without anything, and we are part of that infinite universe that is never lacking or without anything, we too don't have to lack or be without anything. So we'll have to take a readjusting of the mind in order for us to really walk into the level of prosperity and abundance in which we were built to walk in. But how is it that I recognize, or how is it that I protect my abundance? Well, the way I protect my abundance is by taking that particular statement that I made earlier, that the blessings of the Creator make it rich and add no sorrow. I have to take that as a measuring tool for my life. The blessings of the Creator, the blessings of the Lord, the blessings of God make it rich and added no sorrow. So I have to really sit back and analyze what's in my life. And I have to ask myself, are these things in which I have allowed into my life, because nothing comes into my life except I allow it, are they enriching my life? Are these things in which I have allowed in my life, are they helping my life advance? These things in which I have permitted in my life, are they helping me grow? Are they helping me expand further than where I have been? I have to ask myself, where was I emotionally 3 years ago? Where was I emotionally 6 months ago? Where was I emotionally a week ago, a month ago? Where was I financially? Where was I mentally? Where was I emotionally? Where was I relationally? Where was I? And have the things that I have allowed in my life, have they allowed me to progress further than where I was? Or have I been pacified by my own illusions? By my own thinking, by my own emotions? Have I been lulling myself to sleep, missing out on my life and the abundance that is meant for me? The blessings of the Creator, the blessings of the Lord, the blessings of God make it rich and add no sorrow. So have these things that have been in my life, people, places, environments, things, jobs, opportunities, family members, doesn't matter. Have I been able to grow? Have I been facing my challenges? Or have I been avoiding my challenges? Have I been rising to the occasion? Is it pushing me, motivating me, strengthening me to go to the next level of my inner self? Because though I have gotten to a particular place within myself now through the help of the Creator, there is still another dimension of me that I have not tapped into yet. And so are these things bringing me to a space and to a place to where I can actually calculate and be able to give an account, not to anyone else, but to myself, on the growth in which I have undergone? Because if the blessings of the Creator make it rich, I should be seeing abundance and growth and development all around me. If I have not seen abundance, growth, and development, stretching and challenging and rising to the occasion all around me, then I have to ask myself, is this really a blessing of the Creator? Or have I fooled myself into thinking that this was a blessing and it was good for me, when all along it has done nothing but pacify me? It's done nothing but distract me. See, many times in life, we get caught up with distractions. We get caught up, we get caught in, we get entangled with distractions. And when we recognize it, once we finally have an aha moment, we recognize that none of these things in which I have been distracted by, none of these things has really helped me elevate. We can look through our lives and say, okay, what have I really done? What have I really accomplished? Yes, I've done all of these things outside, but what internally has changed within me? And we find many times that we have run our race and spent our wheels on frivolous things, climbing up the corporate ladder, trying to be number one in class, trying to do this, trying to do that. And all of these things are external, but the blessings of the Lord, which are also the blessings of the law. And when we talk about the blessings of the law, we're talking about the blessings of nature. And when we talk about the blessings of nature, I'm not just talking about those things which are outside of us. I'm talking about those universal laws that cannot be changed. Nature abides by the law of cause and effect. So the blessings of the Lord make it rich. The cause and the effect in my life should be bringing forth a change that can be notable and that can be celebrated. Abundance is a tool of celebration. Abundance is a tool of revelation. My abundance reveals to me who I am, the work in which I have done. And it also allows me to celebrate because of the work I have done. And most of the work that we have done and are doing is private work. The people that we attract to ourselves, we attract them mentally and emotionally. The job opportunities or the businesses that we attract to ourselves, we attract them emotionally and mentally. The relationship statuses and whatever problems or harmony we have in our relationships, we attract that to us emotionally and mentally. The blessings of the Lord make it rich and add no sorrow. So am I in a blessing? Or am I not? Or am I in the opposite of a blessing? Because the way I notice and can identify if I've been a blessing is that I am supposed to be in a place of feeling rich, feeling fulfilled, feeling accomplished, feeling valued, feeling appreciated, feeling as if I am growing, feeling as if I am advancing, feeling as if I am maturing. And I can notably say that I was here at one point and now I'm here. This is when I can notice that it is the blessing of the Lord. When I can go into an atmosphere. If I have to go into an atmosphere and I'm stressed out, if I have to go into an atmosphere and I'm nervous and anxious, if I have to go around people that make me fearful and make me feel down about myself, then that is not a blessing of the Lord. Because the blessing of the Lord will allow the atmosphere to be welcoming. The blessing of the Lord will allow the opportunity to fit me perfectly. The blessing of the Lord will not allow me to be anxious and nervous and feeling afraid and feeling as if I don't belong. Whenever it is a blessing of the Lord, I feel right at home. And not only do I feel right at home, but the atmosphere is home. And not only is the atmosphere home, but I begin to flourish in that atmosphere. So my question to many of us that are watching me today is, am I in an atmosphere where the blessings of the Lord are? Because the blessings of the Lord, or the blessing of the law of cause and effect, the blessings of the Creator, make it rich and add no sorrow. So here are a few things I have to do. Number one, I have to take responsibility. I have to take responsibility for where I am. I cannot blame it on anyone. I cannot put the blame on anyone. I have to take responsibility and be honest with myself. Number two, I've got to be honest with myself. I've got to say to myself, wait a second, the way I have thought, the way I have felt, the way I have operated in my life thus far has yielded me these results. And if I'm going to change, transition, shift, evolve, and grow, then I have to change, transition, shift, evolve, and grow out of these particular habits and these mindsets so that I can develop a new lifestyle around me. Because what is showing up around me is only a product of what's in me. And if I do not change what's in me, I will never change what's around me. You ought to say that. If I don't change what's in me, I'll never change what's around me. So number one, I have to take responsibility. Number two, I have to have self-honesty. I have to tell myself the truth of where I am. You know, there's nothing like a person that has big dreams and say that they want to accomplish major things, but they don't have honesty within their own self to tell them, wait a second, maybe this is not my atmosphere. Maybe this is not my field. Maybe this is not what I'm supposed to do. Maybe this is not what I'm supposed to have. Maybe I am overestimating myself, and maybe I'm not calculating this thing correctly. You know, I come from the world of church, and there are many pastors who would say, man, I want a mega ministry. I want a big church. I want this, I want that, I want the other. But I don't think they ever took inventory. I don't think they were ever honest with themselves. Because in order to have a mega ministry and have a big church, you have to have the right vocabulary, you have to have the right image, you have to have the right intellect, you have to have the right information, you have to have strategy, you have to have tools and marketing, you have to have all of these things. It's not just getting the thing that's going to help you. But most times we're not honest with ourselves. And because we're not honest with ourselves, we don't know how to handle the life and the life circumstances that meet us. So number one, I have to take responsibility. If I'm going to protect my abundance, I have to take responsibility. Number two, I have to have self-honesty. Number three, I have to have self-accountability. I have to be accountable to myself. And not only that, I also have to have an accountability team, an accountability partner. You know, studies will show that most people that try to work out by themselves, they don't end up successful. It's not until we partner up with someone that has a discipline, that has a routine, that has accountability, and that's been doing this thing for a while, that we actually begin to see the results in our own life. So it is with protecting my abundance. I have to have accountability for myself. But not only for myself, but I have to have others that will hold me accountable. So when I am slipping into atmosphere, situations, relationships that are not the blessing of the Lord, I have to pull myself to the side and say, now, wait a minute. What is it in me that does not value me enough, that does not love me enough, appreciate me enough, that cannot see me on a deeper level, that I would subject myself to this type of abuse? Because if it's not the blessings of the Lord, then it is abuse. There are needs and desires that will be unmet. But when it is the blessing of the Creator, it will make us rich. All of our needs will be met. All of our desires will be fulfilled. Why? Because I'm walking in a dimension, an atmosphere of abundance. So not only that, I have to tell myself the truth. Self-honesty means that I have to have the facts. And I have to call a spade a spade. But when I talk about telling myself the truth, truth is different from facts. The facts are they're looking at me. The facts are they're talking, they're whispering. But the truth is they may have been looking at me but talking about how nice my tie was. They could have been talking about how nice my haircut was, how nice my suit was, how nice. So there's a difference between truth and facts. I have to tell myself the truth, but I also have to tell myself the facts. But when I'm talking about self-honesty, we're talking about telling ourselves the facts, actually being able to be realistic and decipher what's going on. But when I tell myself the truth, I have to tell myself, okay, this is what's going on, but this is the truth about what's happening in the midst of what's going on. Not only that, friends, but the last thing that we have to do, and this one is pretty difficult. We've got to have the courage to remove ourselves. When an atmosphere, situation, a person, a place, a thing, relationship is not showing the evidence that it is the blessing of the law, the blessing of the Creator, the blessing of the Lord for my life, I have to have the courage enough to move on. I shouldn't be stressed. I shouldn't be hurting. I shouldn't be without. I shouldn't have to go back and forth. I shouldn't argue. I shouldn't have to fuss. I shouldn't have to fight. I shouldn't have to be under this much stress, this much pressure. I shouldn't have to be worried. I shouldn't have to be vulnerable. I shouldn't have to be on fight or flight. I have to be honest with myself and hold myself accountable. And then I have to have the courage to move on. Because if not, I will not be protecting my abundance. And if I don't protect my abundance, then the enemy of my mind, the enemy of my soul, the enemy of my intellect, the enemy that is within me, the serpent that is within me that comes to steal, kill, and destroy, that serpent within me will begin to eat up my abundance. I will forget who I am. I will get so used to being abused and being manipulated and being taken advantage of and getting the short end of the stick to where I will begin to perceive and believe and accept that that's the only thing that's available for me. But the truth is, there's more for me. You ought to say that. There's more for me. There's more for me. There's more. There's abundance for me. There is a place that I can reach in my consciousness. There's a place that I can reach in my emotions where there is no sorrow in my life. You know, the funny thing is that many people will think that we are crazy when we decide to evacuate certain people, places, and things out of our lives. Because on the onset, the fact is, it looks good. On the onset, these people may be friends and family. On the onset, this is what it looks like. But the truth is, I am not developing. I'm not growing. I'm stagnated. I'm irritated. I'm frustrated. I am becoming complacent and comfortable. And if I don't get out of this place, this position, this relationship, this surrounding, this vicinity, then I will find myself dumbing down and dying and allowing the abundance within me to die. So that my abundance will not die. So that I will not be in a place of sorrow and regret and guilt and shame, so that I can make sure that I'm always encouraged and built up and motivated and have the tenacity and the strength to move to the next level and the courage to go beyond where I've ever gone before. I have to protect my abundance. You ought to say that I've got to protect my abundance. I got to protect my abundance. My mind is abundant. I've got to protect my mind. My emotions are valuable and abundant. I have to protect my emotion. My body, my physical body is abundant. This is the only way in which I can experience my abundance is through my physical body. I even have to protect my physical body by eating the right things, putting the right things in it, drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated, making sure that I protect my abundance, because at the end of the day, if I want to be in the blessings of the Creator, then I have to make sure that my life aligns with the description of how the Creator blesses. The blessings of the law, the blessings of the Creator, the blessings of the Lord. Remember, the law is cause and effect. The blessings of the Lord, the law, the blessings of the Creator, the blessings of the Creator, in making me rich. So in other words, there's an atmosphere waiting for me that is going to help me get beyond where I've been emotionally. It's going to make me rich emotionally. There's an atmosphere that is waiting for me that is going to make me rich mentally. It's going to stretch my mental capacity. It's going to give me more insight, more information, more knowledge, more strength, more capacity to do the things I need to do. There is an atmosphere that is going to make me rich in the area of love. It's going to make me rich in the area of finances. It's going to make me rich in the area of harmonious relationships. The blessings of the Lord make it rich. In other words, my life, when I am with the law or with the Lord or with the Creator, when I'm following the Creator, I have a never-ending flow of abundance coming into my life, because it said make it rich. When we add TH, it means it's a continuation. Maketh rich and added no sorrow. There is a life that I can live without sorrow. There's a life that I can live without drama. There's a life that I can live without mess. There's a life that I can live without trauma. There's a life that I can live without feeling as if I'm unsaved. There is a life of abundance available for me, but it is only the life that I live with the law, with the Lord, with the Creator, and that life is within. It isn't outside of me. It's within me, because if I'm going to attract anything to me, I've got to first readjust what's in me. As a man or woman thinketh repetitively in his heart, so is he. So if I think on it long enough, I'll feel it. And when I feel it, it sends an energy out of me into the invisible atmosphere, and it begins to condition my body to receive that thing in which I have thought about the most. I've got to protect my abundance. There is an abundant life available for me right now. Say that. There's an abundant life available for me right now. I'm going to live that abundant life without any sorrow and without any lack. Say that. I'm going to live that life without any sorrow and without any lack. I'm going to continuously grow in that life and receive more abundance. Say that. I'm going to continuously grow in that life and receive more abundance. This is my birthright, because I am in the law, the Lord. Because I am in the Creator and the Creator is in me. Now what I have to do is that now that I have heard this, now I have to begin to discipline myself and look around me and categorize things. Blessing, not a blessing. Blessing, not a blessing. Blessing, not a blessing. Blessing, not a blessing. Until I know that I have an atmosphere around me that is full of blessings. And once I have that atmosphere around me that is full of blessings, I'll get so used to being lavished in blessings. I'll get so used to being in blessings. I'll get so used to being around abundance to where the only thing that will begin to magnetize to me is abundance. I want you to say this with me and say it with me very proud and with conviction. I am an abundance magnet. I am an abundance magnet. Abundance comes to me easily. It enjoys my presence. I enjoy its presence. I turn around in abundance. I sleep in abundance. I live in abundance. I drive in abundance. My relationships are full and flourishing. I am happy with my life. I'm reeling in all that is belonging to me. And as I recondition my mind and my spirit, more is on the way. And as it comes, I am going to be the doorkeeper of my life to make sure that I protect my abundance. Well, friend, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining me on Greater TV. As we have talked about today, protecting my abundance. I'm sure that you're going to protect yours. And with my help and with your help, I'm going to protect mine. And with my help, we're going to protect each other's. We can only do this together. I appreciate you. Until next time, be challenged, be charged, be changed.